Yo, what's good with y'all? In today's video, I got the how to make thunder breathing in Roblox. You could say this is like kind of like second video I'm doing regarding Demon Slayer and stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna show you guys how to make thunder breathing, make two moves. Of course, I went with Zenitsu's most popular move and the only move he's used, the only real move he's really used. Except I think he only used like two of his breathing techniques, but anyway. Of course, thunderclap and flash, and then like a kind of another ability, which I don't know. I'm an anime only watcher, so I don't know if he uses this in the future or anything and stuff. If anything, it may just be an ability I made up. But anyway, I'm sure you guys had to make thunder breathing and stuff. And yeah, thank you guys for all the love and support you guys been showing the channel. I really do appreciate it. Let's try to get to 2,400 subscribers by like Monday, Tuesday and stuff. And yeah, if you guys want a part two with the thunder breathing video, I got y'all and stuff. It all depends on how well the video does. If the video gets likes, good amount of views, stuff like that, for sure I'll hit you guys with part two. I'll probably make another two abilities, and yeah, let's get straight into it. Okay, so first things first, you guys already know we're gonna need a testing dummy to test to make sure that we're able to do damage. So simply go up here, click avatar, click rig builder, and select block avatar, right? So you just use that, and then you don't have to change any properties or anything. Now, okay, let's head on over to replicated storage. You guys already know we're going to need a remote event. So simply click the plus icon and then click remote event, or if you don't see it, type remote event and click it. You want to name this remote event combat event and make sure that is inside of replicated storage. Now inside of service script service and stuff, not sure if you saw my other video where I made the announcement, but yeah. So I'm trying a new way of you could say kind of storing the animations rather than keeping them on the script. I'm gonna actually store them inside of the script. So we're gonna put these animations inside of the server script when I get to the server side script, which you guys will see later and stuff. But pretty much, if you don't know what this icon is, this is the icon for an animation. That's the name of this class. All of these are animations. To get an animation, simply click the plus icon, type animation, regardless of if it's grayed out or not. Click the animation, and then of course name the animation, and then all you're gonna do is just drop your animation ID. By the way, these animation IDs I'm using will only work for R15. So if you're trying to, do this with R6, you need your own R6 animations. But yeah, so just drop in your ID and it'll autofill everything else. Now be very specific with your naming, right? Be very specific. Because the way I coded it was so that it takes the name of the animation, it takes the name of the attack sent over from the client side, and then it uses that name to get the animation, to get the effects. So you have to be very specific, right? So simply name, first form, so the number, the word form, then animation. Is that simple? So yeah. And then inside of server storage, you guys already know, of course, we have effects and hitbox and stuff. Now the hitbox, simple, it's just a regular part. It's just a regular part. It's set to transparent. I mean, it's fully transparent, so transparency is set to 1. It is not anchored because we welded it. It can't collide, is turned off. So inside of the hitbox, you want to have a weld constraint, which I just renamed the hitbox weld. So insert a weld constraint, and then you want to make part 0 the hitbox, and then we will weld it to the player's humanoid root part later. So you can just leave that blank for now, or just you don't have to do anything with that. Now as for the effects, I will leave the model link in the description for where I got the effects from, because I took them, I don't think I edited them, yeah, from this Thunderbird. I mean, you guys can literally, I kid you not, just search up thunder breathing. Literally just search up thunder breathing. Like just click anything that says thunder breathing kit, like just select one of them and you'll find the effects I used and stuff, right? I don't believe I changed any of the effects, but anyway. So pretty much, we have first form over here. So pretty much the first, wait, actually, oh, they're just right next to each other. I'm like, thinking to myself, like, what? Anyway, so we have first form, right? Now I know this might be a little confusing, right? To pretty much explain this, I got this. I'm not using like the dragon, like, okay. Let me just move these so this makes more sense. Okay, so you guys can tell the difference of what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is the first form effect, right? I don't care about the dragon. The dragon is irrelevant. What I care about are the particles, right? Like you guys see, like how I move, it has a trail, and it has those lightning. What I care about is everything, the children of it and stuff. I don't care about this. So pretty much I got this from one of the effects from, like I said, from this model. I mean, from this one, the thunder breathing kit. I took it out of the group, out of the model, and then I just put it inside of the effects folder, right? So just insert a folder into server storage, type folder, name that folder effects, and then the way the naming works here is what's it called? Is you just name it the number and form. So first form, second form, third form, and so forth. See how my effects, you don't really have to do anything with the effects, like in terms of the first form and stuff, right? If you're doing it like me, so you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything like that. So like I said, if you get the model and then you look for what the dragon that has these type of lighting effects, you'll figure out what I'm talking about, and then just move it over. And of course, the names will be different. You have to change it to first form. But anyway, of course, just make sure can't collide is off. You don't need to. Well, actually, I guess you could have it anchored. But anyway, so to explain this, right, for the second attack, there are two effects because this is, the dragon. When I use the slash, it's like a forward slash, and the dragon, the dragon like goes at the enemy, like it like chases or not chases, but just is you can say kind of thrown at the enemy, right? And then this over here is like the kind of, you could say kind of like just spikes that come from the ground to just show like that impact, like damage and stuff, right? So simply say if you want to have two effects for one attack or one ability, whatever the case may be, you would just put it in order, like how this is the first effect I'm gonna need, so I would just name the second form. Then this is the second one, I would just add the number 2. So if you had 3 effects, you would just add another one and name it second form 3, if that makes sense. Now, just now to explain these other two, I haven't changed anything. Like with this, I didn't change anything. I didn't change any properties or anything. I mean, I'll just go ahead and let you guys know that, of course, they're anchored, they're massless, and can collide is off. So just make sure you do that with all of them and stuff. I didn't change anything with the dragon. The only thing I did with this was simply just change the 3 of them, change the 3 of them transparency to 1 by default. That's all I did, honestly, was just change the transparency to 1 stuff. So yeah, and then here's what it looks like regularly. Here's what it looks like. So yeah, but anyway, so if you did everything like how I done, right, leave the effects inside the effects folder, make sure your effects folder is inside the server storage, and we can move on. Now we have starter pack. We have the sword. So this is a sword, of course, I got from the toolbox. I didn't make it myself. I decided to actually get swords from the toolbox instead of just having get actual swords that pertain to the video. I'm tired of using the Roblox default sword. You know what I'm saying? So this is its actual sword. Looks honestly really nice. I got it from the toolbox. Literally, guys, it's as simple as just typing Zenitsu sword or thunder breathing, and you will find the sword. So yeah, inside the sword, I deleted some things. Here's what it's pretty much left. I left the blade and the handle, right? You guys know the handle is where the player's hand is. Stuff it's welded to the blade, and the blade is just the, it's just the mesh part and the attachments and stuff like that, just to give it the more, Zenitsu sword effects type thing, right? So once you have your sword, you can just leave that inside a starter pack. And then inside of sound service, I have a lightning bolt effect. Here's what it sounds like. Yeah, I couldn't find any specific like thunder breathing effects, so I was just like, okay, I'll just go with a lightning effect. It's good enough. So okay, so it's been about 10 minutes. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything because I did do a lot of editing and stuff with like the models and stuff. So I just wanted to make sure I covered every basis there so that nobody would have any issues. Now we can officially get into the actual scripting. Okay, first things first, let's insert a logo script into the sword. And then let's go ahead and name this script thunder breathing script, in parentheses put local. We're going to delete print hello world, and we're going to make a couple of variables. First things first, let's get the user input service. Local UIS is equal to game get service user input service. Then I'm going to get the tween service. PS is equal to game get service tween service. Then I'm going to get the combat remote event. So local combat event is equal to game the replicated storage wait for child combat event. Then lastly, I'm going to get the local player. So local player is equal to game dot players dot local player. And then I'm going to set up the user input service function. So I'm going to say UIS dot input began connect function in parentheses put input comma process. Remember, process is how we check whether or not the player is typing in chat or not. So I'm going to say if input dot user input type is equal to enum dot user input type dot keyboard and process is equal to false, which means the player is not typing in chat, and player dot character first child script dot parent dot names pretty much makes it that the tool can be used universally, or the script can be used universally and stuff. This is just to ensure that the player has the sword equipped and stuff, and that the player isn't trying to use the ability when they don't even have the sword equipped or they have another weapon equipped. That's why I said it's important that you make sure the local script is parented directly to the sword tool itself. But yeah, so then we're gonna say if input.keycode is equal to enum.keycode.e. You guys are free to use whatever keybind you want. For me, I'm gonna just, for the first form, I'm gonna go with the letter E, and I'm gonna say combat event fire server in quotation marks. I'm gonna say first form, so we know the event type, and then I'm going to send over the tool. Some say script, some say script.parent. Then we're gonna add an else if statement for our second form, our second ability. So else if input.keycode is equal to enum.keycode. I'm going with F. And then I'm going to do the same thing. So combat event, fire server, quotation marks, second form, comma, then of course send over the tool. Right, and we finished that function. Now on to the second and last function for the local script. So I'm going to say combat event that on client event connect function in parentheses. You're going to honestly put it a lot. You're going to first put event type, then arg1, arg2, and arg3, right? So enter. So pretty much I'm using this so that I'm using this function specifically so that I can kind of like do the raycasting, even though I technically don't really need it. But the point is, it's more so to handle the twinning. That's really what it is. It's really to handle the twinning and stuff. But you guys will see what I'm talking about. So pretty much sum this up. So the event type, you guys know which ability am I using, and then I'm going to define each arg. If you don't know what arg stands for, it stands for argument. It's just a general term meant to say, okay, this piece of information was sent over, and then you later define what that specific piece of information was depending on the event type. That's how the system works. So I'm going to first say if event type is equal to the only one I have set up is second form twinning. It is the only type of twinning I did. I'm gonna say second form twinning one, just generally like, say if you have like a second, I don't know, like you fired their mode event twice, then you would just, it'd be better to just go in numerical order, so just to number it. But you guys could just do second form twin. So mine is gonna make a lot of variables, not gonna hold y'all. Let me actually, hold on, let me think real quick. Let me think. Okay, yeah. All right. So first thing first, I'm gonna say local character attacking. This is referring to the player that is using the ability. So character attacking is equal to arg1, right? Then I'm going to make a variable for the effects clone. So local effects is equal to arg1. Then I'm gonna make a second one, but for the second effects. So effects2 is equal to argument number 3, and wait, argument number 3, and yeah, sorry, it's supposed to be argument number 2, but yeah. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, so remember how with the second form I have 2 effects. So this one is referring to this one is referring to that, and that's pretty much just some of the difference, just in case anybody was a little confused. But yeah, so first things first, I'm going to get the start and end position, then I'm going to get the direction. I'm gonna get the direction as well as use start and end position to get the duration, so we can set it between. So I'm gonna say local start. I'm gonna say local start POS is equal to character attacking dot head dot position. I wanted to just ensure that it would be, the dragon would fly like above my player's head rather than like, you know, through my player, especially if my player was like at a bad angle or something. So then I'm gonna get the end position. So local end POS is equal to player get mouse dot hit dot position, right? Then I'm going to create the direction. I'm going to say local direction is equal to parentheses and POS minus start POS dot unit times 100. Then I'm going to create a variable for the duration of the tween. So local duration is equal to parentheses, same thing, and POS minus start POS, but oh, sorry, wrong thing. start POS. But this time I'm going to do dot magnitude. So dot magnitude, and we're going to divide this time. So divide it by 100. The smaller this number is, the faster the tween plays, pretty much. So the faster it moves. So now that we set up a lot of variables, we can now get into the for I loops. We'll use about like 4, I think, or it might just be like 2 or 3. But anyway, I'm gonna say for I comma v in pairs effects. Make sure, okay, please make sure you're paying attention to which effects you're using. Instead, don't get effects 2 and effects confused. So effects 1, right? Get children, because especially since this won't autofill as well. So get children, and I'm going to say if v is a, please make sure you're typing everything specifically as is, because it won't work if you don't. If v is a mesh part, right? If v is a mesh part, then we're going to create the tween. We're going to say local tween is equal to ts create v, referring to the instance, then tween info dot new for duration, put duration, comma enum dot easing style, and then of course I'm gonna go with cubic, because you know cubic is like shooting a gun in a sense, right? And then enum dot easing direction, and then I'm gonna say dot out. Then I'm gonna put a comma on the outside, so I can go ahead and create the property table. I'm gonna make special brackets, and I'm gonna say position is equal to end POS, right? And then right after, I'm going to place a tween, and then I have an else if statement as well. So I'm gonna say else. So let's say else if v is a model, because there is a model inside. So else if v is a model, right? Then I'm going to use a second for I loop. I'm going to say for I2, comma v2 in pairs. Let's see, let's do in pairs, and then we could really just do like v get children, right? Then enter, and then we can go ahead and start working on the second tween. So let's call this tween number 2. And then great news, guys, we can copy and paste. So really just Control C and Control V. You already know, hit it with the enter sign. And then remember, it's the same thing. So we don't even have to literally, because usually you have to usually change something, but no, since we're doing the exact same thing, then we are good to go. And then let me see. I think that's really, yeah. I think, well, not done yet, but like I think that's good on that end. So just click the arrow right there, and once we're done with the for I loop, we can just go on the outside, and we can say task that way duration. Remember, duration is the amount of time it's going to take for the tween to finish. So by the time that the task wait time is finished, the attack itself should just be fully over. So I'm gonna say effects 2 colon pivot 2, right? Make sure you type this exactly as is. Pivot to effects. This is referring to the first set of effects. Dot MP, which is the name of a part. Dot position. So you guys can choose whatever part is inside of the second effects, or sorry, inside the first effects, right? And then I'm going to say effects destroy. I'm going to destroy the first set of effects while the second set of effects are kind of, you could say, making their entrance. I'm gonna use 2 for I loops real quick. So I'm gonna say for I comma v in pairs, and I'm going to say effects number 2 this time, get children, right? Enter, and then I'm gonna go get the tween. So Control C, Control V, and then we can really call this tween number 3, right? Not that it really matters all that much, but yeah. So once I have all of them, instead of using duration, we're going to change this to 1 second. And then I was really testing out a new easing style I never even used before, but I decided to go with using back. And then so this time I'm going to change the transparency as well as the size. So I'm going to say transparency is equal to 0.6 and size is equal to, let's say, v dot size times 2, right? And then we can go ahead and use another for I loop. So we can just copy and paste this. So just Control C, right? Then in between the function, I'm going to say, in between the for I loop, I'm going to say task dot wait 1.1 seconds. I just want to wait literally a split second after it finishes and stuff. So then I'm going to copy and paste, or paste it, I should say. So I'm going to Control V, and then I'm going to name it tween 4, just for organizational purposes, because it doesn't really matter what I name it at this point. And then you guys already know everything down here is going to be the exact same, except transparency is going to be set to 1, and also set to do v.size is divided by 2. Just generally make it look like it's like kind of shrinking inward, if that makes sense. And yeah, and also sorry if I sound tired because I'm tired. But anyway, let's go ahead and get to the server script, guys. We have finished the local script. Let me think. It might honestly, I don't think it's more, but server script is not complicated at all, so don't worry, guys. So if we head on over to server script service and insert a server script, we can go ahead and insert our animations into set script. That we can go ahead and name this script thunder breathing. Yeah, I'm gonna need y'all to bear with me. I am looking tired. Thunder breathing script server, right? Then I'm going to delete print hello world, and I'm going to make about 6 variables. Honestly, I'm going to get a lot of services. First, I'm going to get the sound service. So local ss is equal to game get service sound service. Then I'm going to get, let's see, I'm going to get the debris service. So local ds is equal to game get service debris. And lastly, I'm going to get the tween service. So local ts equal to game get service tween service. Then I'm going to make a variable for the combat remote event. So local combat event is equal to game that replicated storage, wait for child, combat event. And then of course I'm going to get the effects folder from server storage. So local effects is equal to game, the server storage, wait for child, effects. And lastly, I'm going to get the player's hitbox. So local hitbox is equal to game, the server storage, wait for child, hitbox, right? And take that I've made all my variables. Next thing I'm going to set up is the on-server event function. So I'm going to say combat event.onServer event connect function, and then in parentheses I'm going to have PLR, which is short for player, then attack type or event type works as well, tag type, and then I'm also going to have the weapon instance, so weapon, right? And then first thing first, I'm going to get the player's character. Some say local character is equal to player.character, and I'm going to say if attack type is equal to, let's say, scripts regular bracket attack type, then like we could say yeah dot quotation marks animation, and then yeah, that should work. So if attack type, oh my guys, I'm so sorry. You guys, I'm so I'm too tired. I don't even know why I tried recording this. Why? Sorry. Okay, sorry guys. Not if attack type animation. I'm skipping a step. So if attack type is equal to quotation marks, right? First form, right? Sorry. I'm sorry guys. My eyes were kind of. Anyway, let's get back to it though. So then we're going to set up the animation track. So I'm gonna say local at is equal to let's say character.humanoid load animation. Then of course, now here's where I was talking about. I'm going to say script regular bracket attack type. Then you're going to say dot quotation marks animation. That's why I said naming is very important. You got to make sure you're naming your like everything's capital that needs to be, and vice versa. And then we're going to play the animation track. Then we're going to honestly do a couple of things that I've never done before. We're going to make things interesting. First things first, we're going to say character.humanoid.walk speed is equal to 0. I don't want the player to be able to move during this attack. Well, I want them to be able to rotate. Like they can rotate the player, turn their player, but not actually like a walk, right? Then I'm going to say AT, referring to the animation track for short. Then I'm going to say adjust speed. I honestly just found out I could do this while working on this video. So I'm going to set this speed to 0.5 seconds, right? I'm setting the animation speed to 0.5 seconds. Then I'm going to clone over the effects. So I'm gonna put a space in between, right? I'm gonna say local effects clone is equal to effects referring to the folder. Then I'm gonna have special brackets, and I'm gonna say attack type, right? And then I'm gonna say clone. Then I'm going to have a task.wait. So task.wait 7 seconds. This is the long wait before the attack is actually, initiated and stuff. You guys can mess around with the wait times, especially it depends on what animation you're using. Let me just test to make sure my mic. Okay, I'm still good. So you guys can use whatever animation you guys want and stuff like that. And you can mess around with the wait times. Just see whatever you like. So, okay. After the 7 seconds, I'm gonna say AT and I'm going to adjust the speed to say like 0, right? Literally 0. I pretty much just want the player to stop moving for just a second. That's all I want. It's just a second. After a second, I'm going to create the like dash like effect that kind of propels you forward, right? So I'm gonna say local attach. Wait, I feel like I spelled that wrong. Yeah, attachment. So local attachment is equal to instance dot new attachment comma parented to the humanoid root part, right? Then I'm gonna make a variable for the linear velocity. So linear velocity is equal to instance dot new linear velocity parented to the attachment. Then I'm going to set the linear velocities max force equal to like 5 nines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Then I'm going to create the tween on the server side. I'm gonna say local tween is equal to ts create. As for the instance, I'm going to tween the linear velocity. Then I'm gonna say tween info dot new. I honestly didn't even know you could tween velocity until I started working on this. I'm gonna say tween info dot new, right? And then what is it doing? Tween info dot new. Oh, anyway, tween info dot new. So for the time, I'm gonna say 0.3 seconds. It's honestly gonna be real quick. Then I'm gonna say enum dot easing style dot cubic, comma enum dot easing direction, and then out. Then a comma on the outside, and then for the property table, I'm going to say vector velocity is equal to, and then I'm gonna have special, not special, I'm gonna have parentheses, and I'm gonna say character dot humanoid root part dot c frame dot look vector simply times 100, right? And then I'm going to place that tween, and then right after I play the tween, I'm going to say linear velocity dot attachment 0. I'm finally setting the attachment is equal to attachment, of course. Then I'm going to clone over the hitbox. I'm going to say local hitbox clone is equal to hitbox clone. And I'm going to say hitbox clone dot c frame is equal to character dot humanoid root part dot c frame. When it's centered, when it just in the middle pretty much. Then I'm going to say hitbox clone dot parent it to the workspace. Then right after, I'm going to set the well constraints part 1. I'm going to say hitbox clone dot what's it called? Oh no, hitbox weld. That's what it's called. So hitbox weld dot part 1 is equal to character the humanoid root part. We want to weld it to the player's humanoid root part, right? Then I'm going to set up a function for player makes contact with the the hitbox. Hitbox clone dot touch to connect function in parentheses put hit, right? And then I'm going to say if hit dot parent find first child humanoid and hit dot parent dot name is nil equal to player dot name, which means player can't damage themselves, right? They can't attack themselves. Stuff. And then I'm gonna say hit dot parent dot humanoid dot health is equal to 0, because I just feel like after the first ability you should really be dead. But you guys could just say humanoid dot health is equal to less than equal to, you could just do it like that as well if that's what you wanted. But yeah, so I'm now gonna go and say let's see, I'm gonna go on the outside this function, right? We're actually almost done. Not gonna hold you guys, we're almost done with the first event. The second event is honestly, it's quick because you do most of the stuff on the client side. So yeah, so now I'm going to adjust the animation speed again, or animation track speed again. I'm going to say adjust speed, parentheses 3.5 seconds. Then I'm going to say ss.lightning bolt, which is my sound effect. So you would just play your sound effect. And then ds, referring to the debris service. I'm going to say add item, and then I'm going to add the attachment there. And I wanted to show it in span 0.4 seconds, just to give me enough time to propel myself forward. Then one last for I loop for the event. I'm gonna say for I comma v pairs. I'm gonna say effects clone. I'm gonna say effects clone get children, right? I think that'll work. But yeah, I'm gonna do get children, then I'm gonna say v dot parent is equal to character that humanoid root part. That's pretty much where I really want the particles to be. And then let's see. After I parent it, I'm going to set up a function for when the animation track ends. I'm going to say at dot, or sorry, not attachment, at dot end, which means when the animation track is finished, connect function, parentheses, or sorry, close parentheses, right? All you need to put on the inside is v destroy, put v destroy, character dot humanoid, character dot humanoid. The walk speed is equal to 16. I'm just setting it back to the default. You guys can set it to whatever walk speed you want. Then I'm gonna say hitbox clone destroy the hitbox, then effects clone destroy, right? And then lastly, guys, I just need to do the server side stuff when it comes to the other attack. So I'm click the arrow, press enter, then do else if attack type is equal to quotation marks second form enter, right? And then of course, we can set the animation track. You guys can create news. We can just copy and paste. So just Control C after selecting it, Control V. We don't gotta do anything because it's gonna search for the whatever animation is matching the event type. And then I'm gonna say task dot wait 0.75 seconds, right? And then I'm gonna clone over the effect. I'm gonna say local effect clone is equal to effects. Say attack type. Attack type and then clone. And I'm gonna do the same thing because remember I need two of these, right? So Control C, Control V. I need a second one, and not of the same thing though. They're different models. Just letting you guys know. But yeah. So instead this time we're gonna add a dot 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 at the end. We're gonna say dot 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 quotation marks 2, right? So I can just differentiate between the two. So after we do that, then I'm going to pivot one of them. I'm gonna say effects clone pivot or pivot 2, all right, and then I'm gonna say character dot head dot c frame times c frame, say c frame dot new -1 3 and -1, right? And then after that I'm gonna say effects clone. Oh, did not mean that. Say effects clone dot parent is equal to the workspace, so it should be visible now. And then I'm also going to parent the second effects clone dot parent is equal to workspace, which you won't be able to see. You'll see the first effects, but not the second effects. Not yet, at least, because remember the second effects we set the transparency equal to 1. But of course, via the local script is they're going to be made visible. And the great news is, guys, last line, combat event, and here's where the magic happens. Combat event, fire. Make sure you do all clients, quotation marks. You do second form tween 1, right? Quotation marks, we're going to send over the character, we're going to send over the effects clone as well as the second effects clone, right? And it is that simple. And like I said, these scripts are literally connected to each other. As you guys can tell, this is all that stuff. It's handling, the client is handling all this stuff. It makes your job easier on the server side. So I can go ahead and test this if anything's wrong, which it wouldn't surprise me because I'm really tired. I can just go fix it. Let's go ahead and see. Okay, so we have that sword, looks very nice. If I press E, not gonna lie, guys, we are gonna be sitting waiting here for a second because it does kind of take a second to work since we are waiting for it. Okay, there we go. Okay, we did damage. The effects looks nice. Boom. Not a test of second ability. If I press the F key, boom. Okay, I did something wrong. Position front for landing tails. Did I say swap position? Is it not? Interesting. This is the first one. Else if V is a model, then for I2, V2. Wait. Oh my god, guys, I forgot. Oh, I just realized. Make sure you put V2 here. I just realized I was referring to this one. I was referring to this one. Yeah. It would not have animated correctly. This is why I always test this stuff. Oh yeah, as always, if you guys want access to this script or model, any of my other scripts or models, you guys can become either a channel member or a premium Discord member and stuff. Links to either one of those options is can be found in my description and stuff where you guys can comment and ask about it. And you get access to any of my scripts, any of my model links, anything stuff like that. I will have a model link for where to get the effects from. I think the sword is also here too as well, and the animation. So pretty much everything except the final product. But yeah, okay. So as you guys see, the dragon does move, so we're getting somewhere. Unable to cast vector 3 2. Okay. I see I did wrong. So okay, my fault, guys. Instead of pivot 2, it's supposed to be move 2. Sorry, it's supposed to be move 2 because pivot 2 is for C frames. So on the so line 41, the local script just changed this from pivot 2 to move 2. We're getting closer and closer because nothing's wrong with server side scripts. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, you guys see it now. You guys could probably also add a sound effect too, like a like a dragon's roar or something like that. You could definitely add that, and then you could just like kind of add that. Oh, mean to do that, but anyway, you could like kind of add that in, like probably like right before these effects, so that'd be real cool. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys for all the love and support you have been showing on my videos. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching and stuff. I really do appreciate the love and support you guys been showing on my channel. Really do appreciate it. Expect flame breathing for people who are wanting to see. I know there's some people that have flame breathing. Expect flame breathing more than likely next Friday. And then after flame breathing, I plan to look into demon arts. Probably will do Akaza first, so expect some demon arts and stuff. My next video will be a One Piece video and stuff. And then after that, it'll be a simulator. So those are the videos looking at for this week. And then, yeah. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next video.